Hello everyone, my name is Sergey and welcome to another swing dancing tutorial video. Please subscribe to my channel and spread some word in social media. And after posting a video about how to start with the boogie woogie when you dance Lindy Hop, I think the good thing would be to have another video how to start Lindy Hop if you're doing boogie woogies. This is a very interesting topic, especially for some Lindy Hop instructors who have boogie woogie students. They come into Lindy Hop class and they obviously learn some triple steps, stretch, swing outs and stuff like that. And they start to do this and the instructors are like, oh, they're dancing boogie. Like, okay, they knew it before, they're still dancing some boogie woogie. So today's video will cover some tips for students and probably instructors how to operate with the boogie woogie dancers who just started to do the Lindy Hop. After a subscription to this channel, please don't forget about the very, very important link in the description below, the support of the Ukrainian army. It's very, very important to us nowadays. So let's get started. So again, is it possible to cover this whole topic in a few words? Difference between boogie woogie and Lindy Hop, boogie woogie. Obviously it's about the music, it's about the feeling. But if you have some experience in boogie, fun fact, you pretty often struggle to fight your muscle memories because at the boogie classes, usually instructors pay more attention to footwork, to muscle memory, and this makes really good or bad habit, which you have to fight somehow. So I really like the description of my Polish friend. If you're watching this, you probably remember that you were saying it to me. So if you're talking about the bounce, what is the main difference? And it's very simplified, but there is a good point, If you dance boogie, you use more of your ankles. So ankles are always in work, you lift the leg, you do this triple step kick will change. And if you switch to Lindy, start use more of your knees and almost exclude your ankles, work of the ankles. This is very, very simplified thing. But somehow it is true, it's an interesting thing to start with. So the exercise number one, we try to fight with your muscle memory because obviously you got used to lift your knees, lift your legs like this, a lot of rolling, yeah? So to fight this thing and to get the Lindy feeling a bit more, we start almost like sliding, without lifting your legs. I know many Lindy Hop instructors say, oh, it's not true, come on, this is not a good way to teach. Yes, if you didn't do boogie woogie before, So very good exercise is start to travel around the space almost without lifting your legs. So this, and the good thing is to start with the rock step, will be very nice exercise. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Again, it's going to be very simple and kind of not active Lindy footwork, but just get used to move around much more instead of staying on the spot and doing like this. Very simple, very flat, instead of, doing this. Just stay flat. So the thing number two that boogie woogie dancers got used to a lot is to making very strict lines somehow on purpose, and in the figures like swing outs or change of place, turn too fast automatically, like 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8, or like 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Instead of that, try to have a little practice like that. So if you're a follower, start with the right leg. Don't do a big rock step because this huge rock step should be led by a leader. He will give you this kind of space. But start with the small one, and then in the turn, try to turn slower and almost sideways, like 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. You see, in the middle I have the position like sideways, like 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and twist, small rock step, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. and my legs are lazy and they almost stay behind me in this position. This will give you some roundness instead of like linear 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Again, it sounds very, very simple, but when you start to do the Lindy Hop, you just fight your muscle memory, you know, not to do straight lines. Practice this as a solo. It's a really good thing to travel around like ba-da-ba-da, triple twist, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. You do the same thing as a leader after the rock step, you know, because try to practice rock step more often. You still can do step, but rock step sort of a main leading. So after going 1, 2, sideways, triple step. And the magic part about the last triple step number 2 for the leader, is that I don't want to go backward too much to create the stretch beforehand, right? So the triple step number 2 is almost on the spot, like slightly probably moving backward. In overall, it's going to look like 1, 2, sideways, almost on the spot. 1, 2, sideways, almost on the spot. Because after that, I need some space for the stretch. If I will be far apart, like 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6, no space for the stretch after that. And again, don't hesitate to practice this thing solo. It's really important. Put on some Lindy Hop music and start walking around like this. If you go swing out, stretching, swing out, almost flat, 1, 2. For the followers, again, start with a little tiny rock step. Shoot, triple twist, whoop, ba-da-ba-da, wop-a-doo, whoop, The next thing is going to be probably the most difficult, is to get used to groovy steps, because you know some of the boogie instructors, they don't do this on the beginner exercise, like groovy, groovy, 1, 2, groovy, groovy. But in Lindy Hop you use it much more often, yeah, because your legs again lazy and you don't want to do this triple step. So instead of that, you can practice this as a basic. Again, the knees are the most important part, not the ankles like this for the rolling. It's just going 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, ha, ha, bang, groovy, bang, 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 groovy, wap, bang. And the most important part here is to do not only bounce down on count 1, but also on 2. This is what I mean. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Because the most of the people will do this mistake, like 1, 2, ha, ha, 1, 2, down, down, instead of twice. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And one of the best exercise for that is walk around, you know, almost in the Charleston way, like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. If you have a good habit for that, you will easily substitute groovy step instead of the triple step, because this will make your dance lighter, kind of smoother, softer, and you can pay more attention to lead and follow, and also, you know, traveling around with overturning, which gives you much more space for twisting and turning figures or stuff like that. And then muscle memory challenge number 3 is obviously when you dance to faster tempo, which is kind of, you know, more stressful territory. So instantly leaders and followers, they cannot think. It's just their muscle memory works. They again start to lift the knees faster. And try to reproduce the double bounce, like 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6, and they're just wasting energy. So it's really important not to waste your energy like this. For the leaders, the advice number 1 will be, instead of lifting the knees, I will try to show in the swing out, instead of lifting the knees and rolling too much for double bounce, try to run forward on the triple step. Yeah, so cover more distance with less lifting. Again, very simple example, like 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, back and back. 1, 2, wap, la, da, boom, ha, 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 ha. For faster tempo, it's going to be even a bit more aggressive, and you will try to lift, but again, no lifting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, triple step. just for a little slow motion, check the position of the knee when I run forward on the first triple. Yeah, so again, slight turn instead of jumping into that position like 1, 2, yeah, nothing of that. And good thing for the followers, when you do the fast boogie woogie dancing, you try to run forward. You have tension in your core, and you run forward almost like a kitty scratches the floor. But instead of that, when you run forward in Lindy Hop, you actually can leave your legs a little bit behind. It's kind of weird feeling that you think you're gonna be late, but no, like 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2. So this is okay position, like 1, 2. Yeah? See, it's kind of different for boogie woogie when you go for like 1, 2. Yeah? So again, this will be easier for the followers to practice with the leader to run around like this, but just don't be afraid to be a little delayed in the swing out, especially with the turning, like 1, 2, whoop, 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 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is fine, it's gonna work fine. So again, this video, I'm pretty sure will burn some Lindy Hop instructors, because they're gonna say, well, come on, this is not the way to approach it, you have to pay attention to so many different things. But again, don't forget, the point of this video is to tell some simple tips to boogie dancers with their experience for them to avoid doing straight up boogie woogie, in the Lindy Hop classes. What are the things to start with? After that, if they're gonna change the feeling somehow, they can do more straight up forward Lindy Hop exercises. So it's important for teachers to pay attention. Does this person have experience in some other dance, boogie, Lindy, collegiate, shag? Because you can see it's quite obvious. And finding almost like personal approach to these people, it's important, because if you can do this as a teacher instructor, they can become better faster, and this is really cool. So thanks a lot for today, guys. I enjoyed that a lot. Even this was not just straight up forward beginner Lindy Hop tips, but this is the thing I like, some differences. And to have more videos like this and more topics to cover like this, subscribe to my channel. Please don't forget about this. Again, I know you're lazy. Sometimes you just watch the video and like, okay, good. But use several seconds and spread the word about it in social media. Please don't forget the links in the description below. Support the Ukrainian army is super, super important for us these days. Peace to all of you. See you soon.